Well, that was messed up. Brightburn is directed by David Yarovesky and stars Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, and Jackson Dunn. And it tells the story of a couple who are struggling to have children, and then one day a ship crashes in their backyard, so to speak, and they find a baby inside and they decide to raise him as their own. But as he gets older, he starts to display certain powers and abilities that take a turn for the worst. Brightburn. So everybody knows this movie as the what if Superman was evil, or what if Clark Kent was evil. And that is basically on the surface what this film is. You know, it's kind of taking, it's like if you read what if comics where they take a story and they give you a scenario. That's what they do here with this movie. And for the most part it works. And let me get into what I liked about this movie first and foremost. The visuals of this movie, I thought this movie looked really good. It managed to do this thing where it looked like a big blockbuster type budget, yet the locations are not that many locations. You get like a school, a farmhouse, you know, a little small type of restaurant, very small town type of thing. It actually reminded me a lot of the look of Slither, another movie that of course is was directed by James Gunn, who produced this movie. I think the other Gunn brothers wrote this screenplay. So the movie does feel like it fits into the world of Slither, and I really like that. And as of course, if you've seen Slither, and if you haven't, you really should. It's very funny and gross and fantastic. Elizabeth Banks also stars in Slither, so she's in this here, and she plays the mom character. And again, that's another strength of this movie. The two main actors, David Denman and Elizabeth Banks, who play the mother and the father. They are very believable as a couple, and they are very believable as parents, you know, because most parents don't believe their kids could really do anything wrong. I was watching this movie with my boyfriend, and he was like flipping out that the mother would not, you know, accept that the kid was evil. And I'm not a mother, but I am an aunt, and you know, you do find it hard to believe that these sweet, precious little ones could do anything wrong, you know. She's definitely very believable in the role, and because of that, and because of the fact that you know that she wanted a child for so long, she loves this child with all of her heart and all of her might. She doesn't want to believe that he's capable of anything wrong. So as much as you're frustrated that she's not accepting what's in front of her, at the same time you can forgive her, because you really do believe a mother's love, it's blinding her to the things her son is doing, you know. The actor who plays Jackson Dunn, who plays the character, I think he does well with what he's given. I'll get into that in my negatives a bit. He's fine in the role. He's like most children in horror movies, he's quite creepy, and as the movie goes along, he gets very, very scary. That's another thing I really liked about this movie, and it caught me completely off guard. It was the gore, the level of gore. The kills in this movie are so brutal. There was one in particular, car accident one, but not really that one. While it was like, whoa, there was one further down that involved the police department, so to speak, and I was like, holy shit, that guy. Wow, and that's all I'll say. And I love the fact that it looks like they mostly used practical effects. As a fan of horror, I totally love when horror creators, directors, writers use practical effects over CGI. So there's a lot of that in this, and I totally appreciated that. But like I said, I knew this movie was rated R. I had no idea it would be this brutal, you know. And the entire time you're watching it, it messes with you as a fan of comic books. I mean, we have all these Marvel movies out there and DC movies, and we tend to see our heroes as people who, while they may make mistakes, you know, they would never go this off the rails. So to see something as iconic as a Superman type character be this horrifically evil, it's not easy. It's quite shocking, and it made me enjoy the movie even more. But there are negatives to this film. And for me, one of the biggest negatives of this film is the underdevelopment of the main character. Now, I didn't have an issue with me not knowing what Brandon Breyer's real story was in terms of where he came from, you know, why exactly was he sent here, all that sort of stuff, because it's definitely done in a way that it's building up a mythology. So I didn't have much of a problem with not filling in those blanks. My biggest issue with this character is how quickly he's evil. He's simply a psychopath. He's basically a serial killer with superpowers. And why I didn't like that at all is the fact that he's a kid who was raised from an infant by two very loving, caring people. And to think that he would never struggle with what he was becoming, that to me was a missed opportunity. Because I don't mind that where they went with this movie. I don't mind how it ended. I don't mind that he is the villain, so to speak. But to see that there is zero struggle, because he talks about wanting to be good, but it's like other horror movies I've seen with evil kids, and you know, they're pretending that they want to be good. Here, I just felt like these two people are two good, caring, loving people. They've always wanted a kid. They don't mistreat him. They even discuss how their own childhoods, they were ignored by their parents, and they don't want to be that for him. So to see him raised in an environment like that, and there's no gradient to him becoming evil. He just simply snaps, something happens, and he just like, okay, fine, I have all these abilities, watch me be destructive. It didn't make sense to me. It just felt like a whole chapter was skipped, and it made this character quite hollow, you know, because again, you're left with a cookie cutter villain. You're left with a character that you just hate, and you want to see his destruction. What they could have done is given us a character that was struggling with this darkness inside him, and in that way we could even sympathize even more with the parental characters, with their difficulty in doing the right thing, so to speak, for the benefit of all mankind. So that was my biggest issue. As you can tell, it's a story issue really. Overall, the pacing of this movie is really good. It's really tight. You're never gonna get bored with it. Movie looks really good. Again, Elizabeth Banks and David Dunham, David Dunman, they do a fantastic job as the lead characters. They're very believable, and I quite enjoyed this movie. So I'm giving Brightburn a 6.5 out of 10, and I'm looking forward to see. Hopefully this movie does well, and we get to see more of what exactly is Brandon Breyer's. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's really appreciated. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face right over there, and for past videos, you can check those out over there. So until next time, guys. Bye-bye.